Hello and welcome back to another Bundesliga video, where this time I'm discussing Matchday 26, the results, the games were played throughout the weekend, one Friday game that I'm gonna start, and yeah, some surprising scorelines, and yeah, there were a couple especially that I was surprised about. Let me know your thoughts about these scorelines, but yeah, without a further ado, let's go through these matches, beginning with Frankfurt and Bochum. One match that was surprising for me at least, that Frankfurt dropped points against Bochum, and yeah, Bochum continued their strong about three last matches, and yeah, get points against Frankfurt away from home, and yeah, I think that's good result for them. Asano scored the goal for Bochum, whereas not surprising, his 12th goal of the season, Frenchman Randall Colomwani scored to make the game 1-1 and salvage 1 point for Frankfurt. As crazy as that may sound, uh, yeah, they got 1 point from this match, and Frankfurt, their season hasn't been optimal, but they still have chances for top four places, especially as some other teams struggle. So, but 1-1 there. Next match was between Schalke and Leverkusen. Now we get to Saturday games. Not that surprising result here, even though Schalke they had been playing better. Leverkusen 3-game winning streak coming into this, now it's 4. And yeah, the goal scoring was started by Frimpong, the Dutch right back, really playing quite well this season. And then also Florian Wirtz and also Asmon scored to make the game 3-0. And Leverkusen, as I said, their winning streak is quite impressive, and yeah, they continue to roll, and let's see if they could maybe jump past some teams and top 4 finish. Is that impossible? I don't know, but some teams definitely struggle ahead of them, so yeah, if they continue like this, they have a chance, at least for me. Then Union Berlin, they win against Stuttgart, who still are last in the league, and yeah, this loss really didn't help them. And yeah, I kind of expected that Union Berlin would beat Stuttgart, and that happened. Becker, Behrens, and also unfortunate own goal for Stuttgart player Haraguchi. So yeah, 3-0 Union Berlin win there, not that surprising for me. But yeah, then Wolfsburg and Augsburg played against each other 2-2 game there, and yeah, comeback here for Wolfsburg, because it did not look great. Because after first half, Arnold own goal just couple minutes in, and also Berisha, who is having quite a good season for Augsburg, 2-0, and it didn't look good up until about 18th minute, or when, as you can see here, Waldschmidt scored to make the game 1-2, and then also Enmecha scored and 2-2 game there. Wolfsburg, I think they will be happy with this 0.6 minute of added time equalizer to make the game 2-2. I think they will take 1 point because, to be honest, they could have not got any points because, 2-0 at halftime. Then, one of the more intriguing results, Freiburg, who had been doing well, but they dropped points 1-1 against Hertha Berlin, so obviously Hertha Berlin fighting for their lives to not get relegated to Bundesliga 2, and they managed to get a 1 goal back, and that was the goal that made this game draw 1-1 when Ngangam scored, but before that Vincenzo Grifo, the Italian, who is having quite a season, 13 goals in Bundesliga. That's why the game is 1-1 and not 1-0 win to Hertha Berlin. And yeah, I would think Freiburg are not happy with this and disappointed because Hertha Berlin, with how this season has gone to for Freiburg and for Hertha Berlin, I would think that Freiburg would look at this matchup and look at Hertha Berlin as winnable opponent. So disappointed, at least I would think Freiburg will be about this result. Then if not those matches were surprising, this for me was, so I expected Leipzig to bounce back after their horrific results before the international break. And that really didn't happen because they faced Mainz, who had been doing great before the international break. And Mainz won 3-0. Ingvartsen scored the first goal. Also Ludovic Ajorg, who seems to adapt quite well for Mainz. And also Kur made the game 3-0. And yeah, I really don't know what to think about Leipzig. It's not that long ago that they got 1-1 draw against Manchester City in Champions League, and after that really it's all gone in the wrong direction, and they have to do something, and I don't know what that is, but they have to fix this. They can't drop points. They are fifth, but if this continues they could fall further, and maybe they have to, Champions League hopes are not looking good for them right now. Then their Klassiker 4-2 for Bayern, their win against Dortmund. It just looked like a massacre at one point because, the game started with Kobel own goal. Upamecano, if I remember correctly, played the ball that was supposed to be a pass, but it went too long, and Kobel just missed that, and 1-0 there. Then Müller, who seems to defy age, he scored twice, and also Kingsley Coman made the game 4-0. Dortmund, to be fair, they scored twice. Emre Can scored from a penalty spot, and Malen, after a beautiful build-up play, scored the second goal for Dortmund. That wasn't enough, and Bayern, now they are on the top of the league, 2-point difference to Dortmund. Let's see if Bayern wins title yet again. Probably other Bundesliga fans would hope that Bayern wouldn't win the league again, but at this point it's looking like so. Obviously there are still 8 matches left in Bundesliga, so anything could happen. Then 0-0 game, only game that didn't feature any goals was between Köln and Mönchengladbach, and I really have nothing to say about this other than Mönchengladbach really are struggling this season. I don't know what's really wrong, but their goalkeeper Omlin really saved the game there, and it could have been 1-0, 2-0 maybe to Köln, and maybe they are lucky to escape even with a point. So Mönchengladbach really they are struggling, and it shows that they get only 1 point against Köln away from home. Then the last match, which featured all headers, so 3 goals, all of them were headed in. The goal scoring started in the second half with Andrej Kramaric, the Croatian striker, scoring the first goal. That was header, obviously, all of these were. And Baumgartner, what proved to be the winner, made the game 2-0. But it was quite close because Werder Bremen didn't give up that easily. Pieper scored to make the game 1-2, and if I remember correctly, they hit the post in the last minutes of the match. So it could have been 2-2 in the end. 2-1 win, valuable win for Hoffenheim, and they are now out of the relegation zone. So this win could be big for them, especially if the rest of the season goes their way and they don't get relegated. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about these matches? What do you think about these results? Their Klassiker, for example, or do you think Leipzig won't get to Champions League next year? And what do you think about other results surprising for you? And hit the like and subscribe for more football and Bundesliga content. And thank you for everyone that has have subscribed at this point to the channel. And have a nice day.